Hey, so we're going to do a quick video on using the lassos. They're the third option down in the toolbar if you've got it in single column view. If you right click or you click and hold on the menu, you get an option, and there's actually three lassos in this menu. We're going to have a quick look what they do. So to start with, I've opened up an image. I'm going to zoom in so I can see everything. Now if you look in the layers tab at the bottom, we've only got one layer and that's got a lock on it. Now if I cut a selection of this out using the lasso, and all I'm doing there is clicking and dragging, hit the delete key, it goes white. The reason for that is because I've got white as set as the background colour. If you look in the colour palette over there, and it's not exactly what I want. I actually want transparency, so I'm going to duplicate the background layer, and then I'm going to turn the background layer off. And right now, if I cut a section out of it, I get transparency. Perfect, that's exactly what I'm after. Reason for that is no longer saying that it's a solid layer, that it's willing to accept that there's nothing underneath it, as opposed to there will always be something underneath it. If we look in the lassos, there's three different ones. We've got a lasso, a polygonal lasso, and a magnetic lasso. Each of them work by beginning. You have to click and make a start point. I'm going to start over by this tree. And with the lasso, you click and then you hold down, and you direct the mouse exactly where you want it to go. Now I'm trying to cut perfectly around myself on this motorbike. As you can see, I haven't got the steadiest of hands. I'm going quite quickly. If I take my time, I can do it quite well, but I'm just trying to show you guys a video here. So I'm going to cut this section out down to the middle of the wheel. Okay. If I want to go towards the point that I started and I want it to automatically join, I can just let go from any point. It gives you that dotted line that some people call the racing ants. That's your selection. Just hit the delete key, and to get rid of your selection, you can either click and start a new lasso area, or just go into your select menu and go select deselect. So that's the number one lasso. The second lasso down here is the polygonal lasso. Now this one's a little bit different because it's working on polygons. It's working on straight lines. So effectively, I click and then I can choose exactly where I want that line to go. So to go around round objects with this tool is incredibly tricky. So you really have to take your time, and you have to plot a lot of points. I probably chose the wrong part of the picture to show you this tool. It's not when it's working at its best. The tool works its best when you're working with a lot of straight edges. It's really quite good then at figuring out where to go. You just have to click once or twice and spin it around. Now always remember to come back towards your starting point, hit the delete key, and again cut a bit more of the picture out. So I'm just going to cut this area out here. Keep a difference between our transparency between the picture we're cutting out and the background picture. Magnetic lasso. This is the newest lasso that Adobe have integrated, and I find the most awkward. Now what it does is it tries to latch itself with colours. Call it magnetized, because it works out what colours you're going. So you trace the mouse roughly along where you're going. If you need to drastically change course, you click. If you go slow enough, you don't even need to click, it'll just sort of figure it out for you. Got a bit of tree then accidentally. That's a shame. The time that this becomes difficult is when I need to go back to the start. You've got to force it at times. So if I just Control D or select deselect, you can see it's quite rough around these edges here. Now some people are happy with that. I personally, that's not, that annoys me quite a lot. So I generally end up using the normal lasso and being quite patient. I find that I can do a better job with the normal lasso quickly than I can with the magnetic lasso. Now I know a lot of that is practice. I do use the software quite a lot, but without using the normal lasso you don't get the practice. See, I'm going a bit wrong here. My mouse is a little bit clogged up with dirt. So let's just very quickly get around this image, and back towards where we started that bit, and hit the delete key, and then deselect. So there's bits of green I've missed out, you can see. But that's kind of cut me out. So now that I've got all this space, I can use the lasso and delete the rest of it if I want, and make that onto a whole separate layer. Get right the way around. Okay, so there's me cut out of the background. Anything I should have really done was kept a copy of that background layer turned off, so I could then turn the background back on. So the chance of finding that picture, no idea where it's going to be. Check the Loch Ness after the pizza. Possibly before that. No, it's after that. After. We needed there. There we go. So let's drag that background in. Let's check that we cut it out right. On top of the background copy. I'm not so sure that is the same picture, but yeah, it's close enough. We're happy with that. So that's how to use the Lasso. The next tutorial is going to look at using the transform controls and perspective. I know I've rushed through that quite a lot, but those are 3 tools that you've really got to have a play with. I can tell you how they work and I can explain to you how to use them, but you've really got to use them, find out what works for you, find out what doesn't work for you. If it doesn't work, figure it out why. That's all on you now. So have a play, let me know how you get on.